Hello, everyone, and welcome to Joyful Living. I am your host, Kimberly Dixon. Thank you for joining us today. Today, our guests for the show is DeLaine Waller and Vince Bradley. They're going to be sharing their story with us today of perseverance, hope, and ultimately triumph. Laine, Vince, please introduce yourself.
Hey guys, my name is DeLaine Waller. I am the founder and CEO of Vraiment Financial.
And I am Vince Bradley. I'm the CEO of Vraiment Financial, and I'm also the CEO of Bradley Venues.
Okay, wonderful. Guys, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.
So, you mentioned that you're the CEO?
Yes.
Please tell us more about your business.
So, Vraiment Financial is basically a financial one-stop shop. We are a financial firm. We specialize in financial coaching, tax preparation, credit restoration, as well as business credit and bookkeeping for small business owners and individuals, as well as their families.
Oh, wow. That is amazing. You sound pretty passionate about your business. The light went off in your eyes.
Yes.
Tell us the story behind that passion.
So I was originally working at the bank as a bank representative for a credit union, and I really love working at the bank. I've been in sales management and finance for 10 years now, and what I wanted to do was learn the ins and outs of the bank so I can basically help my community as far as their businesses, their taxes, as well as their credit, because within our community, a lot of people don't understand the importance of having good credit or even getting their finances together. So what I decided to do was go work at the bank and learn the ins and outs, but as well as I end up having to choose between the bank and my business. So of course I put all my investments into my business, so I end up choosing that.
Okay.
And I'm so happy I did take that risk and that leap to, continue with my business, because I have built some amazing relationships. I have helped a lot of people in my community, especially African-American women, especially single moms. So I'm just so happy that I was able to take that leap and, not rely on being at the bank, because it was a tough choice. And the first couple of months was not easy. Entrepreneurship is not easy at all, but I'm happy that I did take that leap, because it has been a journey for real.
Okay. Well, you mentioned journey a couple of times in your statement.
Yes.
Tell us more about that journey.
So before working at the bank or even starting my business, I was in sales management, and I had to basically, when I was married, it was just having to go over just being a mom. And I was a mom and I was working, but I didn't really have to pay bills. The only thing I had to pay was...
God bless you.
I had to pay, my car note, my insurance, and my cell phone. So you can imagine having children. I'm like shopping every other week, and if something happened with one job, I just hopped onto another job so I can just have income in my pockets, just do what I want. So when my ex-husband decided that he wanted a divorce, it really put me on my toes, okay, what am I gonna do? We're gonna go from 2 incomes to 1, and I'm gonna have to actually pay bills. So I moved back in with my mom, and it was definitely a slap in the face.
Yeah.
It was a slap in the face, and me and my ex, we basically hated each other. We hated each other, and I'll never forget, just being so angry at each other. And I don't know what happened. I think one of us decided that somebody should grow up and be more mature about the situation. And, Vince was basically like the mediator. He was basically the mediator. You guys need to just talk. And you don't have to be friends or anything, but, you guys can be cordial. And I'm happy he did that, because we all have a nice co-parenting relationship, and it definitely has helped us tremendously.
Okay. Tell me more about the journey when you had to work, take care of the kids, paying bills. What was that like?
That was not a good part for me, because I always imagined that I would be the mother, I would be the wife, and we will all work together, and we would be a family. It's I imagined it to be like the Huxtables, and it was not like that at all. And I was getting laid off from one job to another job to another job, and moving back home with my mom, she was in a 3-bedroom with my siblings and then my 3 kids. You can imagine 2 bathrooms. It was just cluttered. And I felt like a loser. You know, I really felt like a bum. I felt like a bad mom because I kept thinking about what could I do to change the situation? What could I have done in the past that this wouldn't have happened? And, you know, my kids didn't show so much joy because I was always working. I was trying to work 2 jobs, and that was killing me. And even just trying to date as well is like, I didn't feel like I was good enough. You know, I didn't feel like I was good enough. I didn't feel like I was a good enough woman. I didn't feel like I was a good enough mother. I felt like I was failing them and failing myself. And I became depressed, severely became depressed. And I even attempted suicide because I just felt like I didn't have to be here anymore. This was beyond me. And, you know, my kids could, you know, have better, do better. And it really sucked. It really, really did. But, you know, one day God just wakes you up. Like, it doesn't have to be that way. Yeah. Like, I have given you so much and you're just not seeing it. Like, I feel like there was wool over my eyes. And then one day I just woke up and said, I'm so talented and gifted. And, you know, how would my children feel if I wasn't here anymore? They would feel like, wow, mom really quit. Like, she really quit on us and she quit on herself. And I didn't want that anymore. So
when you say you attempted suicide, that you just contemplate suicide, or you actually tried to carry that out?
Yes, I actually tried to carry it out.
Okay.
Yes, I actually tried to carry it out. I had to go to the hospital. And nobody knows. Like, my mom still doesn't know. You know, my friends know. And, of course, my fiance knows. But a lot of people don't know about it, and I didn't tell anyone, but I'm happy it didn't go through because
I am too.
Yeah, I am definitely happy it didn't go through because.
Well, I just want to stay right there for just a moment because I don't know if you've seen it in the news, but the suicide rates now are, I think, 3 times higher than they've ever been.
Yeah.
And it seems that people have lost their hope. What would you say to someone who is struggling or contemplating suicide right now that have lost their hope?
What I would say is you definitely need a support system. And everyone says, oh, I have a support system, but you have to actually rely on that support system and actually open up your mouth and talk, because a lot of people aren't going to know what you're thinking unless you open up and say something. Like, I know with me and Vince, he's like, I can't read your mind. If you don't communicate to me, how am I supposed to know something is wrong? And if you really, really want help, you have to talk and you have to say something. And even if it's not your family or your friends, even if it's just a stranger, open up your mouth and say something, because you don't know if that person can potentially help you from doing something that, you know, your family's gonna be sad about, that you may eventually regret. And I just think about how my mom would feel if that actually went through, how my children would feel, how my support system or people who actually cared about me would feel. It will break their heart. And, you know, some people don't understand that, but it is serious, that you are special. You know, you are meant to be here for a reason. Right. And your power is your power, and that's what makes you different.
Well, I definitely believe that. And we are all unique and we are all special, but it's really saddening and disheartening the number of people that generally and completely believe that they don't matter and that this world is a better place without them. So thank you for sharing that with us. And it's like, because I know that it's deeply intimate. And as you said, you have not shared that with everybody. So I really appreciate you being open and sharing that with us today.
Thank you.
So you mentioned your ex and that you guys really hated each other.
Yes.
What is your relationship like today?
Our relationship is better, you know, is really, really better. And I'm happy that Vince was able to step in and basically let us see the light. And he even said, like, you know, it doesn't have nothing to do with me. And, you know, these aren't technically my biological children, but, you know, I feel like he's all about respect. Like, it's all about respect between the both of you guys, and you guys need to come to a common ground and even, you know, communicate and talk. You know, you don't have to be friends, but just have a common ground and talk to each other and show each other, like, hey, we can come together for our children and we can all be, you know, It don't have to be a perfect family, of course, because you have the mom and the dad, and you have the stepdad and the stepmom, and you have the children, but it's all extra love.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be modern or traditional, but it's all about the children. And
that is the absolute truth. It's really sad to see the way parents fight so much that they don't even see the children anymore. So, Vince, your perspective is wonderful and admirable and not seen a lot when it comes to male relationship. It's just not. So tell us more about that. How are you able to see beyond, the typical thoughts that a man would have around, just the family and just your spouse or your girlfriend having a relationship with their ex?
When it comes to that, I mean, first point of it is the children. Like, for me, like I said, they're not biologically my children, but I still want to be there for them. So, like, you have to be able to look past everything else that's there, as far as, in my situation, them having a real father. He's there in their life and stuff, but just being able to be there for the children and make sure that they're first in that relationship. Make sure that they're first. Make sure that they feel the love. Because, I mean, me and him could fight and argue and put our feelings out there, but we don't want to affect the children, especially when it comes to our children. Like, we want to build them up. We want to make sure that they know the love. We make sure that they have the love from both sides. Make sure they know that I love them. Make sure they know that their father loves them. So, I mean, when it comes to our relationship, it was just very important for me to just show them that, yeah, I'm here for you, but your dad is still there. I'm not here to take your spot. That is your biological father. And just try to build from there. Like,
I really admire what you guys are doing, because children, and this is any race, but especially children of color, we need our parents.
Yeah.
We need our fathers.
Yes.
So to have the father in their life and to have their stepfather in their life and both of them building them up, that is so wonderful to see. And I love it when I see men who are involved with their families, because I'm a traditional kind of girl. I'm not a religious woman, but I am a traditional woman. And I really believe that a family operates at its best when you've got a man who will take on the role of a man and not just be there that you just see them there, but who will really lead and guide a family in the direction that they're supposed to go. And I see that you're that kind of man, that you're going to step up and say when things are right, but you're also going to step up and say when things are wrong, and we need to rectify this.
Yeah.
So I really admire that about you guys.
Hello, I'm Tara Henry, the owner and artist of Authors and Art Studio. I really would invite you to come learn more about the studio at www.authorsandart.com/contact to learn more information. Here we focus on creative wellness and community building. You can find us at 3303 Rock Quarry Road, Suite 103, Raleigh, North Carolina, 27610. Please learn more. It really is about you.
So you went through this journey with the divorce, with the multiple jobs, moving back in with your mom, which is incredibly humbling.
Yeah.
And the attempted suicide. How did you regain your joy after all of those experiences?
So what I did was I actually started writing, and I actually went to a therapist. So going to a therapist was very, very helpful. And man, we need more Black therapists, because she uplifted me like never before. And my mom has done a great, great job, so I can't take that away from her. But for her to understand where I was, and for me to feel as low as I was, and for her to say, you are beautiful, you are smart, and you have all this going on, you have all this talent, you're going to allow one thing to stop you? This is nothing. If you can get through this, you can get through anything. She's like, you are so amazing. You can do anything you put your mind to. And that's when I started thinking, maybe I can become an entrepreneur one day and I can do my own thing. And I was like, I didn't want to do it alone. And she's like, someone's going to find you, and they're going to want to be with you, and they're going to love you and your children. And that's what I was mostly scared about. Like, okay, maybe if I've already had my chance at love, and I've already had my chance at marriage, is someone actually going to be able to come in and accept me and my flaws and, you know, my attitude sometimes.
Oh,
and,
honey, we all have
yes,
attitude.
and my craziness and, you know, my hyper children. Are they going to be able to accept me and build with me and trust in me and we can come together as a family? Or are they just going to, you know, oh, this is not for me. You know, I'm looking for something different. I honestly felt like I would never, ever find that again. So
Wow.
I just focused on work and my children. And me and Vince, like, if we didn't meet the way we met, we would have never met. So I honestly believe like God really aligned the stars together and put us together for a reason, because we would have never met the way we met.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for bringing up the point that you actually saw a therapist, because seeing a therapist in the Black community is still such a taboo thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we need some help. And your therapist sounds wonderful. I need to go see her.
Well, she's not actually in this area. She was back
I'm
in
just
Dixon.
kidding,
Yeah.
but yeah, she sounds wonderful that she
Yes.
would just lift, because that's all we need sometimes,
Yes.
just somebody to lift us up and empower us
Mm-hmm.
and help us to see the things that everybody else already sees. We just don't see it for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what advice would you give someone who is in a situation, any part of your story? Give us some advice.
For women, especially for women that are moms, and if you are a mom, if you feel like you're a single mom and you're doing it all alone, it is just a rough patch for now. You have to keep going. Like, you cannot give up, because if you give up, you'll never know if you were to win, because you never continued. And it's not a race. Don't look at how other people are succeeding and thinking, okay, well, I haven't won yet. Celebrate your small wins, because they're there. You just have to see them, and you have to continue on, and not for your children, but for yourself. You know, the things that I do for me is for me, and it makes me feel so good because I did that. And you have to have that joy within yourself, and sometimes it's going to take time to build. But like I said, you have to, you know, speak to yourself, say your daily affirmations, you know, get a prayer closet and, you know, speak to whoever you feel is the most high, and read a book and listen to your podcast, and, you know, whatever that's going to motivate you, but not only motivate you, but discipline you and inspire you to achieve your goals, whatever that is.
Well, you said so many great things that I don't even know where to begin. But the last thing you mentioned was discipline.
Yes.
We are such a instantaneous society now that we don't have the discipline a lot of times that being a success requires. We just won't stick to anything any amount of time. So thank you for mentioning the discipline. And also you mentioned affirmations. Affirmations are so important.
Yes.
That's something that I whenever I'm working with a client, we always talk about affirmations and how to use them and how much to use them, and use them every day. And then you went on to say to do it for yourself.
Yes.
There are so many. This woman, we can sit down and talk all day, because she is just full of nuggets that you can just sit there. But you mentioned doing things for yourself, and I know so many people that on their list of priorities, they are dead last.
Yeah.
But as a mother and as an entrepreneur, being able to take care of yourself, being able to do things that are going to pour into you is so critically important.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy to see that you're doing those things and that you realize your value.
Because if you don't put yourself first, and I know everyone, especially as a mother or parents, you know, they always say their children comes first. But if you put yourself on the back burner, and I have experiences firsthand, if you put yourself on the back burner and something happens to you, now who's going to take care of the kids? If you can't mentally do it today, who's going to be able to do it for you? So I even tell them, hey, I need 2 hours, I need an hour. It's me time. And they're like, what? Like, it's not about you today. It's about me. And when I'm done getting myself together, I will come, and you guys will be okay. It's people in the house. You know, you're not by yourself, but, you know, you guys will be okay. But I just need a break from you guys right now. And it's okay to say that. You're not a wrong parent or a bad mother or even a bad father to say, I need a break right now because you guys are driving me nuts. And it happens.
Yeah. And you know what? It's actually a good lesson for kids to learn, because if you grow up in a household where you think the world is all about me, I'm going to get what I want and when I want it. And then you get to the real world.
Yeah.
Because it may still work that way when you're living in your household and you're in middle school or high school, but go to college and those professors aren't holding your hand through every thing. Or get out into the real world where you got to show up on a job every day. Or even if you're an entrepreneur, the world doesn't revolve around you.
Yeah.
And I love our little princes and princesses. However, a few parents are taking it a bit too far. And when their children get, because I know in my own family, I can speak from experience, when they get into the real world, it's a slap in the face. And it can sometimes knock them on their back because this is not what they're accustomed to. But so the simple fact that you tell your children, I need a break, I need to take care of me, this is about me, that's wonderful. So that's instilling in them that the world doesn't revolve around me.
Yeah.
And there are our babies, and you can love them to death, but giving them that sense that the world revolves around them, and that sense of entitlement doesn't serve them.
Yeah, Vince taught me that.
Vince, tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'll speak from my personal experience growing up. I'm the oldest of two, so growing up, like, it was a lot expected of me over my sister. Like, my sister, she was, I hate to say it, she was babied, she was pampered. So she would always get stuff I wouldn't. So it kind of instilled in me, like, okay, I might not get it right now, but I just have to work for it. I have to do this and do that. And then eventually, like you spoke of before, when it got to the real world, I was thoroughly prepared for it. Compared to my sister, who, when she got to college and stuff, she just expected everything to be right there at her hand, and it wasn't that. So she kind of fell for a little bit, and it was a little bit of a life lesson for her, because eventually she's in the right place now. So, but for me, again, it's just a simple fact of how I grew up. My parents instilled in me to be, I guess, a leader, to be responsible, to be disciplined. So it was just easy for me as far as having that mindset.
Oh, that is wonderful. So, guys, we're about to finish up here. Laine and Vince, tell everybody how to reach you for bookkeeping services, mentoring with finances. How can they reach out to you?
Well, they can definitely reach us at our Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Vraiment Financial, which is VRAIMENT Financial, as well as Instagram at Vraiment Financial.
Okay. Is there a telephone number or anything on
Yes,
that?
it is 800-614-9330.
And are you located in Raleigh or Durham?
Yes, we're located in a local Raleigh area, but we are around the whole triangle.
Okay,
Yep.
That's awesome. Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for being my special guest today here on Joyful Living. That is an amazing story. Thank you for your honesty.
Thank you.
Because I truly believe that in order for anybody to get their healing and deliverance from our story, we have to be willing to tell the truth.
Yes.
And you told your truth here today, and I thank you for that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So, Laine and Vince, and thank you for your contributions to the Black family, man. It was like I shout to the mountaintops over Black men who are doing their thing, and you are doing your thing.
Yes, he is.
And it is an honor to know you. But guys, thank you so much for being with us today. And everybody, we will have episodes coming out in the next few days, so please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video, share the video, and if you need Laine's and Vince's services, please reach out to them. They are here to help us move to the next level. Thank you for watching Joyful Living. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.